Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with Unit 3, Chapter number 3.1, Tertiary. Before starting with the poem, I would like to give you some small information about the title as well as the poet of the poem. So, what is Tertiary? Tertiary is an historical name of a region in Europe and Asia between 13th and 14th century AD. So Tertiary is nothing but a historical region in Europe and Asia. Now who is the poet of the poem? The poet of the poem is Walter de la Mare. Now who is Walter de la Mare? Walter de la Mare was born on April 25, 1873. He was an English poet, short story writer and novelist. He is probably best remembered for his works for children and for his poem. His works deal with fantasy, death, rare states of mind and emotion. Now let's start with the poem. I will give you a small sort of information about the poem. Before that, I would like to read you first stanza for you. If I were Lord of Tertiary, myself and me alone, my bed should be of ivory, of beaten gold my throne, and in my court should peacocks flaunt, and in my forest tigers haunt, and in my pools great fishes slant their fins athwart the sun. So, I will like to give you some small information about the first stanza. In this line, the poet presents the picture of an imaginary kingdom, that is Tertiary. He considered himself the king of his empire. He says if he were the king of Tertiary, he would be its sole king. There should be no one else to share this kingdom. His bed would be made up of ivory, a precious material. His throne would be made of pure gold. There would not be any mixture of base metal in it. He would have a spacious court in which peacocks would move here and there very proudly. His forests would be full of wild animals like tigers and lions. They would freely stroll in the forest as its real owners. His kingdom would have pools full of different kinds of fish. They would swim slant. They would be very happy and freer than any other object. The tiny fins of this fish will be slopy towards the sunlight and should shine proudly and happily. So here in this first stanza he explains in a very imaginary way. Now let's start with the second stanza. If I were Lord of Tertiary, trumpeters every day to every meal will summon me, and in my courtyard bray, and in the evening lamps will shine, yellow as honey, red as wine, while harp and flute and mandolin made music sweet and gay. In this second stanza, the poet further imagines himself as the king of Tertiary and mention his meal time. He says that if he were the king of Tertiary, this will become a ceremonial event. There will be great trumpeters that will produce heavy and noisy sound. In the evening, there will be lamps of different kinds. The light emitted by the lamps will be as yellow as pure honey. Some of the lights will be as red as pure and bitter wine. And during his meal and even in the evening, the players will play upon harp, pipe, and many other musical devices. All these musical instruments will create sweet and beautiful music. In the second stanza, he explains about the music, that whenever he sits for the meal, whenever he orders something for the meal, there should be a beautiful music around him, like a trumpet playing the drum.